Take a look at some of our Alaska news for this Friday morning, brought to you by Inland Petro Service at 451-1905. If you're an Alaskan business, you know the importance of keeping your fuel dispensers working. From piping to tanks to having to know how to fix the mechanisms in the dispenser at 40 below, there's an awful lot that can go wrong with fuel during the winter. Or even in the summer, dealing with debris and water removal is no fun. And that's why you should call Inland Petro Service. From fuel additives to tank monitor systems, line leak tests to third-party inspections. That's right. No job is too big or too small, even point-of-sale installation and service. Above and below, in or out, they do it all. Give them a call at 907-451-1905. That's 907-451-1905. Or check out the website, inlandpetroservice.com. From Bettles to McCarthy, Northway to Beaver Creek, there's no place too far. Inland Petro Service knows Alaska. Today in the Alaska news, we see that there was a car chase, a manhunt, a standoff, and finally an arrest for a man in South Anchorage. With stuff that happened it all began on Tuesday with a missing vehicle. That vehicle was spotted then on Wednesday with the guy inside, and the chase was on. He rammed through a police barricade. Eventually, he and his passenger fleeing on foot. They had given up the chase at that point because it was too dangerous. They tracked the man down to a vacant house, which actually he knew the homeowner. When they came in, he refused to come out, and he ended up trying to escape through a wall. When he couldn't, he went into the attic and escaped into the neighboring house, where he was then eventually cornered, captured, and taken to jail. There's a leak of some kind. They're saying it's a low-risk gas leak from an undersea pipe. It was spotted by helicopter, the bubbles coming up out of the water down in the Cook Inlet. Also, uncertainty, once again, surrounding the start of the Iditarod. Iditarod 45 is coming up here in March, and they're still not sure what they're going to do in terms of whether it's going to be a reroute slightly, just kind of a different course, or whether it's going to be having to start at Fairbanks like they did in 2003 and in 2015. So we'll be keeping our eye on that. If you are a fan of dog mushing, we'll be keeping our eyes on this together. Also, there was a oil tax debate flare-up even before the very first committee hearing. The House Democrats kicking off the debate, taking a look at possibly restructuring oil taxes again in order for the oil companies to shoulder even more of the deficit issue. Also, the Newsminer notes that there's a new bill that is going to require officer training. This is across the board, everything from troopers to police to correctional officers, having to recognize the so-called hidden disabilities. In other words, people with traumatic brain injury or post-traumatic PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. That's right. EPA officials were pulled from the Alaska event that they were supposed to go to this week as part of a cost-saving measure, according to the Trump administration. But it also fits in what people are saying. This is what Trump is planning on doing in terms of realigning the EPA. The Sterling pilot was injured in a crash on the banks of the Kenai River. Apparently she was having some kind of engine trouble as she was injured, but did survive the crash. Anchorage's first vote-by-mail election is not going to be happening in April as was planned. Instead, it's going to have to be put off for possibly as much as a year. They're encouraging people to vote by mail on their own anyway. Also, there's a story about a new Salmon Fellows program, which they're designed to try to help get more people involved in protecting salmon as a resource. And there are a lot more stories that we simply don't have time for in this little video arrangement. But if you'd like to hear more, I've got a full 30 minutes available for my subscribers. It's audio only. But if you want to be a subscriber, hit me up here. Just send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. I'll tell you how you can do it. Or you can click on the subscribe button at my website, radiofreespeech.com, and get the 30-minute version delivered right to your inbox. Have a great day.